Hey there, welcome back to my channel. You're at the Thrifty Journal shop. My name's Amber, and today I'm going to share two more trashy junk journals. So I had previously made two trashy junk journals out of cookbooks, and I had used my normal thrifted papers and items, but then I had put some food packaging in there. And I was just making like a true junk journal and just playing around and pushing my creativity. So I decided to make two more. And I love these books. I shared these in a thrift haul and I actually bought them for the covers. I just thought they were beautiful. They're 1975, 1976, or some sort of like creative hobby book. I don't really remember the titles of them, but I actually went back to the same thrift store to see if I could get any more, and they were all gone. But I just love these covers. So let's go over this one first. So as I was starting to make these trashy journals, I was just inspired to maybe push a little more creativity, and I just thought about hobbies. Like maybe these could be like trashy hobby journals. Uh, as artists, we have, we're junk journalers, or we're journalers, or we're painters or drawers. We have all these hobbies. Maybe we like to garden, we like music, we like to travel. So I was just thinking of all these interests and hobbies and incorporating them somehow in this journal using trash and packaging. So I did a flexible spine here, and this is just some thrifted fabric. And what I did was I found some really cool multicolored wax thread here, and this is a chain stitch. So I made the spine and then sewed around the spine, and then I attached the spine using a chain stitch. There's two signatures. This is the back. I put my little mark on. I just love this cover. It's just beautiful. Both of the journals are the same size. They're both almost 11 inches in height with about an 8 1/4 width. And I put 28 pages in each signature, which will give you 56 pages front and back, which gives you a total of 112 pages throughout the whole journal. I did embellish these a little bit more just to maybe push your creativity. I just really, when I started to make them, I just kind of went with my own creativity. Okay, so inside here, I lined it with some scrap paper, and I wasn't thinking color themes here. I was thinking just everything and anything and what I had on hand. So this was some scrap paper I had. I just made some fabric pockets, and I decided to use some trash. So I had this peanut M&M package wrapper. You'll see it throughout this journal. And so I just decided to glue that on, and I sewed the button here. And inside here, I added some paint swatches for you to create however you want. I did add some trim here and a tea bag. So those will go in here. And inside each one of these, I'm going to add this packaging. It's just like some packaging from some kind of package I got. So you can use that however you wish. These are all jam-packed with stuff that you can remove, take out, move around, use in other journals. And I decided as I was paper clipping them inside, I would jazz up the paper clips a little bit with just some random fabric. So in the other ones that I made, I had given you like a stencil that you could use. So this was actually in a kit that I got at the thrift store, and it looks like someone had already punched it out. So I just added that. I thought, you could go around, and if you wanted to stencil some butterflies, you could do that. Here's just this is from a teacher's kit. It's just a cake. I just paper clipped that there. I added some lace. So there's lots of space for you to use paints or glue, write, whatever you want. Here's some scrapbook paper. I was playing around one day just doodling with my acrylic pens, and I just was doodling on some junk mail. So I did add that in here. You can cover this if you'd like. And I just really thought this was a really pretty page. And I didn't plan it out, but I loved the envelope and all the colors. And then I had a calendar page, an Avon calendar page, and I thought it was pretty with the cardinal and the heart. I sewed some fabric, and I was thinking hobbies, and so music is a hobby. So here's the xylophone and the little picture of the xylophone I attached with some lace. You can move that around. So in here, I just thought that was really cool how the M&M is peeking out. So I clipped that in here. And this, I actually had some scrapbook paper that I had found, and it had M&Ms. So I cut that out, added that with some lace, and then here's the ingredients from that package of M&Ms, the food packaging. So I just added that in there. I think that's so pretty with all that color. And then I had gotten this knitting book, and I actually read the book. It's a beautiful book, and it's a recycled crafting knitting book. So I thought, how cool is that? It's all around recycling and everything, and the pages are nice and thick and just beautiful images. And they have these quotes. So I just thought this picture was really pretty. I was thinking hobbies, knitting, crafting, sewing. And it says, I haven't failed. I've found 10,000 ways that don't work. Benjamin Franklin. And I thought that is so fitting for artists. Looks like she's knitting. She's got the coffee or tea with the books and the rug, music paper. And then here's some instructions that I found for, looks like a water pump, but it's nice and thick. So I added that, some scrapbook paper. I sewed, here is a map for like an ATV snowmobile. So I was thinking hobbies, maps, traveling, and this was just some junk mail. So I attached the security envelope, and you can, paint this. I love the inside of security envelopes, the colors. You can add those. It has, peak spots. And then this was some of the original book page that came in either one of these. It's really pretty. And then I just clipped this little card here with some fabric. And then it was just some junk mail for tractors or Kubotas. And I just attached a leaf. Here's a page from an atlas with a flip. So I sewed on an extra sheet so you could have a flip. And then here's like my instruction guide from my Cuisinart here. Wallpaper. Wallpaper is always nice. This side just takes glue and paint really well. Here's the back of that KitchenAid. It's upside down this way. More of the atlas, and I just attached a tag with some fabric. More of that. And then this was some of the original book page. I just thought that was really pretty with the wood grain there. More fabric scraps. Here's that ATV map, but it folds out, so you have all that space. Got maps, the instruction booklet, music paper. And then I was just playing around with some cutouts from another sewing book, and I just loved these 70s girls. And I think these books are from the 70s too, 75 or 76. So I cut her out. I loved her outfit and just made a nice little card, journaling card, or whatever you want to use that for. Just clipped it there with some fabric. Here's that back of that calendar page. And I just sewed down like a leaf. I think this is the leaf petal from the silk flower. And then I added a fabric flip here with some of the other fabric that I used on the other journal. And if you wanted to, you could cut this off. You could remove that if you wanted to. The back of the envelope with the doodling, and then I attached a large sheet of scrapbook paper with all that space. And then inside here, I tucked a watercolor page with some stickers. from the bottom here. I won't pull it out, but it's just some stickers off of a banana. Scrapbook paper, and then I sewed to extend the page. I added a recipe page. Here's the back of that brownie box. Okay, now we're on to the second signature. And I'm just in love with cake decorating books, cookbooks in general, but specifically the cake ones. I don't know, maybe it's because I like sweets, but I just think the pictures are just so bright and beautiful. And I don't know, they just add so much. This just looks so pretty with this and this paper, these flowers. So I added that. I was thinking cooking, baking as a hobby. Bird book page, bird watching's a hobby. And I just sewed that silk flower down there. Then I added a page from a dress pattern, and I sewed it on some back of this Rivoli type material. That's not a word, but this rough style paper. And in here, I just tucked some random sheets of writing paper for you. And then I had some really thick coloring book pages. So I added those and got some drafts. On this side, there's bats. Here's more of that recycled craft book. It says recycled sweater totes, the little tag. And those are just such pretty images. Here's more maps. Got some Wisconsin trail maps. So I use a lot of these maps because I have a fat bike, and in the summertime, I ride a lot of the snowmobile trails, and I'm planning a trip to ride some of those out in Wisconsin. So this was an extra one that I got. Paint books. I use some of these in my other journals. I just think they're great material, lots of possibilities. And here was another die cut or punch that I had found in this kit that I got. So I just sewed some fabric. You can stencil, move that around. I just thought it looked really pretty on this page. Clipped it with a lace paper clip. That's the back of it. So, and then this page right here, this is from my Girl Scout badge book. I shared that in a thrift haul, Visual Arts. And what I did here was I had made some coffee cups out of fabric a while back and sewed on part of the packaging from my coffee bag. I sewed that on and made like a pocket tuck. And in here is just a playing card with Pooh. So random, love random. Here's part of that knitting recycled book, and I just attached the lace and a flower, and I sewed a button. Lots of buttons in here. And then there's the back of that, and it says, "Art evokes the mystery without which the world would not exist." I just thought that was beautiful. Here's a page from a teacher's guide. And then I did add some tea bags in here. I added a button I sewed, and then I just added some ephemera that would fit in here. Here's just some playing cards from Monopoly. There's 2 of them in there. Here's just some junk mail, and nothing spectacular, but I thought the barn was pretty. And then I added some packaging from some chocolate chips. And in here, I just added a tag I made from the brownie box, sewed a button. There's the back of the junk mail. I like that picture with the fire and the mug. Here's a page from the original book with a color wheel. And then I found this. I had a wood burning kit, and it was from, I don't even know when. So this paper looks like it was coffee dyed or vintage. It's pretty thin, but you could add to it, and it looked like it had like the wood burning stain already on it. So I thought that was cool. Gardening paper with strawberries, and I did sew some fabric with a button. And then it looks like someone had cut an image out of the paper, so I left that. You could glue another paper on that. Back of that craft paper with some Monopoly money, then more of that junk mail. And I thought that was just cute with the little chickens and the donkey. More teacher's paper. And then I made like a little tuck here out of a little watering can. I sewed some fabric with another button, and then I just tucked a tag made out of a paint chip with a silk flower and some fabric. More craft paper. Here's another tuck pocket with a tea bag with some fabric and a button, and I just tucked a playing card from Monopoly and some Monopoly money in there, with a little paper clip with some of my handmade acrylic paper beads, or that Girl Scout page. And here's the rest of that paint swatch book. It folds out. More of that map, that book, the creative or the recycled book. I attached a silk flower. And on this side, I sewed some money, and I thought that was really pretty. I can create what I can imagine. And if you're not a spider fan, sorry, you can always cover that up. But on this side, it has butterflies. And I love adding these pages because they make a nice flip. So some hydrangeas and just a silk flower. More of the bird book, and I sewed some more flowers down it. Cake page, and then we're at the back. So the back, I just added a fabric messy pocket here, and I used more of that food packaging from the M&M, and then I just glued on a banana sticker. And in here, I altered a bingo card with some sunflowers. I had this really pretty trim. I was thinking games or hobbies, and added the Uno scorecard. So you'll get that. So if you ever do order a journal from me, I always add like a bag of goodies and extras, and it's just kind of random stuff, fun stuff that I just sort of put together. I love doing that. So that's the first one. All right, this is the second one. Love the colors in this. This is so 70s, and this fabric just fit perfectly. This is like some polyester 1970s. I don't know if it's from the 70s, but that's what it reminded me of. Paisley. I love paisley stuff. And it's almost on the verge of ugly, which sometimes I gravitate towards, like the funky, ram polyester 1970s. But I just think it's beautiful, especially with the bright colors. I mean, you just have this tile. I added some lace. I added a button. And then on the back here, I did my thrifty journal shop, and this I did my chain stitch here, 2 signatures, and just this multi bright rainbow colored waxy thread is just so much fun. So this has the same amount of pages. It's the same size as the other journal. So inside here, I just added some fabric scrappy pockets. I like to add pockets in the front and back of journals sometimes, just so you can tuck things in if you're wanting to work in it, wanting to keep track of stuff. So here's just some random stuff that I made. We've got a journaling card from part of one of the boxes, the cake box or brownie box, and I thought that was sweet. Be your brightest. Added some fabric. Here's a bingo card, a Uno score sheet, and this is just some scraps from a sewing pattern book. And then the front here, we've got the dress pattern, and I attached a silk flower here, and in here just scrapped some, just added some fabric and some tissue. And then inside here, I just added some random stuff. This is some of that Dollar Tree paper. I just love the texture of it. It's glittery. And just some writing sheets, some stationery. This is from I think a Reader's Digest sewing book. A page from that recycled knitting book. And I just sewed this little punch with some fabric. And I just love the picture from that book with the fruit and her knitted hand warmers. Just a beautiful page. And here's another one of those paint books. Coloring book page. Got the sweet little dog. Cake decorating page. I thought this next to this looked really pretty. I added a silk flower with a button, this old retro looking button with some fabric. The brownie box, and I just sewed on the feather and clipped this tag here. You can move this around. This is another part of that M&M packaging. So here's the lace-up fingerless gloves, and there they are. So once again, there they are. Looks like she's holding a little guinea pig. Oh, this is such a pretty page. So this is from the original book, and I just added this little punch with some fabric. We've got more maps with a fold out and a Girl Scout page, the badges, hobbies, and pets. And then I just paper clipped Snoopy, love Snoopy in Woodstock. This is from my calendar from last year, and just added that with a little paper clip with some fabric. Junk mail, sewed on a leaf. And here's some like instruction guide for my tape gun. So I added that in here with, and attached it to the garden page. So you've got a nice large fold out original book page. And then I just attached up here, I thought hobbies, you know, flying a kite. This is from that teacher's guide, and just clipped it with a paper clip with some fabric. Then I added a fabric flip. This is the original book page, and I attached it with some washi. The back of that, rest of that instruction paper for the gun. It's really pretty. Junk mail, got a little flip there. More of the map with the fold out. Okay, and then I made another little journaling card with this lady from one of those McCall books. I cut her out and just added her, sewed some fabric here. I just love the colors there. And I just paper clipped it and added some fabric. More of that recycled craft book. I thought this was just a beautiful picture with her knitted sweater. The world of reality has its limits. The world of imagination is boundless. How true is that? So I just attached a little tag off of something I bought at a thrift store with some yarn and fabric. Here's the back of the brownie box, the cake decorating page, armadillo. And every time I see armadillos, I think of Steel Magnolias. And if you've seen the movie, you know the scene with the armadillo cake, and they chop his buttocks off, but they say something else, and it's just hilarious. If you've ever seen that movie, I love that scene. I love the whole movie, but yeah, it's hilarious. Birds. Then here's that paint swatch. More of that craft book paper with her, with the dog. How cute is that? And then, so this, I wished I had more of this. I only had one of these, like the little plastic crafting doohickey thing. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I only had one. Otherwise, I would have put one in both of these journals. So in here, I just added some buttons and some of my wax thread. And if you wanted to sew this or play around with some hand stitching, you could. So I just added that as an extra element. I'm gonna have to find some more of this. And then here's a children's book page. I just liked it because I had the little mice with the thread and the thimble. All right, we're on to the second signature, and here's more of that punched out stencil if you want to use that as a stencil. It's just an ad for Burger Town. And then I made a paper clip bead dangle with some fabric. Here's more of my doodling security envelope. And here I just tucked some packaging from yogurt and some purple cardstock. Here was part of an ATV map, and then I just attached a chocolate chip bag, added some fabric and a button, and then inside here I added another tea bag for you, and there's a Winnie the Pooh playing card. I thought that looked pretty with the colors next to this rooster calendar, so greet each day. And I sewed on another silk flower. Here's a tea bag tuck, and I added a button, and then just added this little journaling card with more of that M&M packaging and some of that scrapbook paper. Junk mail. Here's more of that wood burning instruction kit. Birds. Original book page with some money from my teacher's guide. The junk mail. I thought that was just a pretty page with the flowers and the 4th of July, and I just added that little tag. Map atlas with a flip. Got some wallpaper. And then here I made another one of those tucks with the little watering can with some fabric, and I tucked in some Monopoly money in one of the little playing cards. Silk flower. Back of the wallpaper. More atlas page, and this does flip down. And then on here I added, thought that looked really pretty. So here's another one of those little punched out stencils. I actually made this one. I just traced the butterflies and made a little heart, and you can move that around. Teacher's book, original book page, bird book with the beautiful swans. Added some lace, and then I just added another little tea bag, tucked in those little playing cards with a button. More of that wood burning paper. Looks like it's got a nice little chunk missing. I thought that was cool. Junk mail, music paper, the calendar, and it says drift off underneath there. I just thought that was really pretty with the blue, so I added those silk flowers. More maps that flip out. And then here's some scrapbook paper with the security, with the junk mail envelope with more of my doodling. So in here I just tucked a scrap with some of the banana stickers, and then it's just peeking out next to this pretty page. And then here's the back here, and it says the impossible is often the untried. In the back here is another fabric pocket. So in here is just a paint swatch. And then I made some tags. I was gonna add these to the journals, but they were getting so thick. So here is some of my packaging from some of my art materials that I have. So, you know, once again, hobbies, and I was just thinking art and using junk. I loved this image. I thought it was really pretty with these painted owls and all this color. So I just added some fabric scraps so you could do whatever you wanted to the back. You could cut this up. And then I added one of these, and I forgot. I'm going to bring the other journal back because there was some stuff that I forgot to show you that needs to go in that one. So on each of these, I put one of these thick cardstock like divider things. And then here's the a recipe page. The other journal, I sewed it down on one of the pages. This, I just added it to. So you'll have all of that in there. Along with this packaging will come with that. So this one, I forgot. So the front part here, I was wondering why it looked a little bare. So in the front here, you're going to have those paint swatches that I showed. And then here's one of those tags that I made for the other one with my acrylic pens. And I just added a silk flower with some fabric. So you'll get that in there along with those. And then this will go somewhere. It won't fit in this pocket, but I will add it to it. So you just get one of those. And then here's this tag with the woman, and I just thought it was cool, like leaf blowing, gardening, all of that as a hobby. And so I just sewed these leaves on here, and then just made this little dangly, you know, I added some of my acrylic paper beads there. So that will be inside the front here of this along with that. And then I'll just add this as an extra. Okay, so those are the two Trashy Hobby Junk Journals, and I absolutely love making these style of journals. They're fun. It kind of pushes my creativity, but then just gives like endless ideas for you to create. All the color, all the random items in here is just so much fun. If you like these videos and like what I'm sharing here, please subscribe and like, share. I love when you leave comments, and I hope you are all doing well. You're getting outside and enjoying the weather, and most importantly, finding some time to create for yourselves. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.